Hello, people. Hello, guys. Let me get Instagram on here so that we all can be live together. No, y'all, my doggone cat. Yo, stay. Okay, hold on. I was trying to avoid putting my cat in his carrier, but I can't avoid it. Excuse me, guys. No, come here. You stay in here. Oh, we're closing my blinds. I need this good lighting. Okay, hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is Tahiri Divine. Oh, I'm not even live on Instagram, guys. Oopsies. But anywho. Okay, Instagram, I got you guys on here. But hello. This is Tahiri Divine. You can find me on all my social sites as Tahiri Divine, where we are the student and the teacher, where we talk about uplifting our life spiritually, financially, physically, mentally, and emotionally, so that we can live our best life while we are here in the land of the living. Okay. So, hey, Raven, I see you. Hello, love. Thank you for tuning in. So we are in it for can you guys hear me? Oh, great. Hey, 6 Figure Days. I like that. Yes. But I'm sorry if you guys hear a lot of noise in the background. But anywho, let's get to it. So we are talking about courage today. We are in the power of prayer, and we are talking about courage. This is a piggyback off of yesterday's topic, which was shadow work. Today we're talking about the concept of courage, and I want to give you guys a quote specifically from Brene Brown, who is a research professor. As I have a background in research, so I really like her mind and how she compartmentalizes and thinks and put things away. Very up my alley, because that's what I did for so many years in the healthcare field. I worked in the clinical research section. But anyway, so I'm going to share a quote from her, specifically about courage. Because and let me tell you a little bit about her. If you haven't heard of Brene Brown, again, she's a researcher. She's most famously known for her infamous TED Talk on courage, shame, and vulnerability. So this is what she studies for the last 10 years. She's studied shame, courage, and vulnerability. She has a really great Netflix special. I think it's called Daring Greatly, based off her book, Daring Greatly, on Netflix. But let's get to it. Her quote for courage goes like this: "Courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen. Vulnerability sounds like truth and feels like courage. Truth and courage aren't always comfortable, but they're always necessary." Hey, Brunette Stanley, I see you. So we're talking about courage today, and what does it mean to have courage, to find courage to complete something, and in the regards to if my cat keeps acting up, I want to let him out. In regards to shadow work or just life in general, but specifically when it comes to shadow work, there is a level of courage that we need to tap into, so that we can have courage and bravery for our outward life as well. So what had me come to this conclusion of because I had to deal with my own levels of courage and finding the courage to be authentic, finding courage to be truthful, finding the courage to be who I am and accept myself. So for those who don't know, what really triggered this conversation today for me was early in the week, Selah, I think I want to make sure I'm saying her name, Selah Marley, which is the daughter of Lauryn Hill and Rohan Marley. She had this infamous Instagram Live some days ago that's since been taken down. Fortunately, I had the opportunity to catch the full 2 hours of it. And just to really sit and digest what this young lady was really saying. And I really love and respect about this young woman, because I think she's like only 20, 21, but to be so young and to be so introspective and articulate, and to just to watch her unfold herself in front of people. And some people may have argued that wasn't meant for social media. Some people will say that. I didn't get the sense that she was bashing her parents. I didn't get the sense of any of that. What I was able to see and take from that was a person unpacking themselves and seeing how their own traumas and seeing how it plays out into their life, into their, particularly her relationship that she was talking about. And the part that really stuck to me, it was a lot of stuff that she really talked about that I think I can really just sit on for hours to discuss. But I want to keep it honed in on the courage aspect of being accepting of yourself and taking your life by its reins and you leading it, versus letting your inner child that's hurt or your shadows leading your life for you. And so I think that was a really beautiful display of someone, especially so young, to do that, because I didn't start doing what she did until I was like in my late 20s, closer to my 30th birthday, to really come to this unpacking of myself in an articulate way without freaking out. So I'm talking here about courage and what does it really mean to go into that and tapping into that part of yourself that's necessary for your life and resonance. So let's go into it. So I'm rambling, so I'm going to go straight into it. So courage for me, what I have recognized and seen to understand what courage is really the ability to just accept yourself and to make changes on the parts of yourself that needs change, and taking full accountability and responsibility on that. To piggy off of her video, for those who haven't seen it, there was a part in the video where she was discussing how her father was absent, in her life, and her mother was very angry and would take her anger out on the children. And to her, having this absence and this disconnect from her father and having to deal with the anger of her mother, it made her realize and recognize within herself how she exerts the same type of anger, because she's angry that she has these traumas. She's angry at the fact that she has to deal with the fact that she doesn't know what a father or what the purpose of men is for, because she didn't have a father in their house. Her parents were volatile with each other. Her mother was, how Black people do with discipline, was very Black discipline, right? So just unpacking all that within herself and saying that she is at a place where she doesn't feel she should have to take responsibility to heal this, because she didn't create this, right? She didn't create her childhood trauma. We didn't create our childhood trauma. We didn't create the circumstances that we experienced as children. However, when we become adults, we are responsible for healing our traumas, and we are responsible for taking responsibility and acceptance of ourselves and doing the necessary work it means to change it. So this is why we're talking today about courage and how to utilize and wield courage to heal the things that you didn't even create to begin with, right? Hold on, ladies and gents, my cat is just doing the most. Stop and stop. Okay. I do not need this cat tearing up my blinds, y'all. But yeah, so we're talking about courage over here, right? And how to wield courage. And my honest opinion, based on my own experience of having to wield courage to go through my own darkness and to go through and healing my own traumas, was when I got to a place where I had nowhere else I could run. There was nobody else to blame. I couldn't blame my parents, because I was like 26, 27, 25. Why are you still blaming your parents, right? Why am I still blaming my father for being the type of father he was? Why am I still blaming my mom for the things that my mother did, and blaming all these people, like blaming every single person? And I got to a place where I couldn't blame anybody else, where only thing that was left, the common denominator, the only factor that mattered was myself. And saying that, okay, I have the rest of my life to live in myself. And too many people, too many thoughts, too many outward, what perceived to be outward philosophies and stereos and belief systems and voices are within me right now. And I have to remove all of it, take away the illusions, take away my own BS about my own illusions that I have and perceptions, and deal with me and who I am. And that is not an easy process to do. But it's also, I don't want to say it's hard. It's just not easy. It's a challenge to have to remove away the layers of ourself, which is not even ourself, the layers of what our culture, our society, or our upbringing, the belief system that we were raised in, to remove all of it and to be left bare. And the interesting thing I've come to understand is that we don't have a problem being bare or vulnerable with other people, because even within our vulnerability with other people, it's still our representative that we put up. I truly believe, and it's from my experience, that we have an issue of being vulnerable with ourselves and being bare with ourselves, because we know subconsciously that we are our own worst critic, and that there's nothing really anybody can really say to hurt us, because we've already said it to ourselves first, or felt the vibration of it first. And when it happens on an outward experience, it is just the affirmation of what we've already told ourselves, if that makes sense. So, in standing in our truth and away from our own BS, taking our own perceptions away, our own projections away, because we do a lot of projecting, until we stand in ourselves and saying, oh my God, all these projections I sent out are me. All the perceptions I've had were false. And I may have knew they were false, but I didn't want to acknowledge the truth of the falsitivities, if that's even a word, that I was holding on to. And that takes courage to do that. And it takes bravery to come to a place to bare yourself to yourself and really have, like they say, a come to Jesus moment with yourself. So there's a segment from this oracle card that I pulled for in honor of our talk today, which is so perfect because it deals with courage. It comes from my Sacred Rebels deck, and it is the relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. So this is the card, but I want to read what it's really saying, because the message in the card is what is really important. It says, in this moment, your life requires great courage. Fortunately for you, you possess that in a bucket loads. You are being asked to allow yourself to be lifted out of one level of known reality and into the next level of higher voltage reality. Higher voltage reality requires a more absolute trust and a heart that is surrendered into the greater heart of the universe, so that life can happen not just to us, but through us and with us. You are being invited into this new reality where things are happening quickly and boldly. This reality is not only of potential, but of manifestation of the great, big, cosmic yes. And let me jump ahead to this other portion that I wanted to put in here. This invitation to shift gears and jump on board the express train of life will feel exhilarating and perhaps also challenging. When you are in the hold of your own darkness, you will feel pushed to turn away and to imagine that it's all too much, and to create excuses about how your desires aren't grounded enough, and that you are being too flighty or flaky, or that you are not living in the real world. That is fear talking, not truth. Awesome. In this last portion, you are asked to go within and imagine diving deep off the edge of what you have known. There is much more calling in your life at this time, and it's time for you to leap. So what that message is, the short hair is cute. Thank you. Thank you. What this message is saying that, like myself and like many, maybe of you, are feeling the shift to level up your life, right? And we always hear about leveling up. And I'm talking about leveling up your life and your courage and your bravery and your authenticity. I'm talking about leveling up yourself so that you can really experience life to the fullness thereof, to experience love, to experience joy, to experience the beauty, to experience the luxury, to experience the other side of what you have currently been used to or been experiencing, the cycles that you have been in. And in order to get to the other side of that is that we have to allow ourselves to have the courage to look at ourselves and to acknowledge our own BS and to erase the illusions that we are holding on and what we perceive life to be and what we project others to be. This doggone cat, y'all. And so in doing this, going back into yesterday's message of the shadow work, is using your courage and using bravery to face yourself and not to think that you, and you know what, some of you, because I know this too, some of us are afraid to face ourselves because we know that we are terrible judge or I mean terrible, I mean like we can be a terrible judge. We can be like, you didn't do this and you didn't do that and you are this and you ain't that and this, and third. We are like that to ourselves. And that is a part of ourself that's not the truth of ourself. It is a part of you, yes, but it's not the truth of the fullness of yourself. So what I have done when I have those moments, it's hard work, but it's hard work. Most don't want to do it. Yeah, it is hard. And I didn't want to do it too. And it's so interesting to talk about that, going back to Selah Marley's video, as she was really unpacking herself and having this really aha moments as she was discussing it. What I was able to take from that is that many of us, because she's very intellectual, and she even said that. She said, I think there's a thing that she said, I'm so intellectual that I can be dumb. And what I want to add to that is not that we can be so intellectual of our experiences, because a lot of times we like to intellectualize it, contextualize it, conceptualize our experience to kind of make to find some leveling in what we're experiencing. And in doing that, sometimes we remove ourselves from the emotional effect of what we're intellectualizing. And so I like to say that we can be so intellectual that we're numb. Not so much that we're dumb, but that we're numb. And when we become numb, we may intellectually be able to process something, but we didn't process the emotional part of that. And so we will experience what we have intellectualized. Because again, where the mind goes, the energy will flow. So if you want the energy to flow in where you have intellectualized yourself, then you have to allow yourself to feel it. And feeling it doesn't mean you allow it to overtake you, because I know that was my issue. I didn't like emotions because I felt my emotions would overtake me. But until I allowed myself to feel it, to feel what I was able to conceptualize, it really left quickly. Like for me, I'm a fire house, I'm a fire sign moon. So my emotions can kind of come in quickly, but because I don't like dragged out, sad and heavy, and I don't like those type of emotions, I would intellectualize it. But until I allowed myself to feel it, I stopped experiencing the very much things that I was able to intellectualize. And because I allowed myself to feel it and let it pass by and not allow the feeling to be an imprint of me. Like, okay, I'm identifying myself to this feeling, creating an identity out of the feeling. I've allowed myself to feel it and let it go. And now that I let it go, I don't have to experience again. And when I feel that feeling try to creep up, I can say, no, been there, done that. I understand it, intellectualize it, but I don't have to repeat the whole entire process of what comes with the emotional roller coaster of it. So for my advice for anybody, feel the feeling, allow your body and your emotions to feel it, because you already processed it mentally. And once you allow it to feel it, it leaves you. Now it feels silly now, since you process it mentally, to hold on to that emotional feeling, because it's like, Well, I know why it's there. I thought myself through this. I was able to think through it. Well, what's the point of holding on to it? Let's let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Not holding back anymore. I really like that song. I really like that song. Shout out to all those who came out to our Frozen study. That was so good. But that song is really what we need to do. And a lot of times we create what we talked about in the study. We create this identity out of our letting go-ness, thinking that we truly let go of something. But all we did was create an identity out the pain. And so we're allowing our pain body, what we were able to come to conclusion on in that movie where she was singing that song, she created identity out of her pain body, thinking that she was free when really she was still trapped, right? And a lot of us do that to ourselves. Facts, facts. Air sign problems. You exactly. Air sign, Libra sun. I know about that. Air sign problems. We like to intellectualize our feelings that we don't necessarily allow ourselves to feel. Michael, you about to get kicked out. Yeah. Don't know you want to rub and be all cute. I think more intelligent we are as people, the more difficult it will be for us to live. Yeah, because I think when we overanalyze and contextualize and conceptualize, we are putting thought forms. Not so much thought forms. We're putting sounds and language to thought forms and feelings that cannot necessarily always be fully explained. It's just something you have to feel. It's just a feeling. And when we escape from feeling, it takes away our human ability to connect, because humans connect on feelings, not as much as we connect on thought forms. It's more so on feelings, vibes, right? Like when you step into the room, you ever been like step into a room of people and like you just feel like the energy feels different, like it can feel heavy or it can feel light, and you I know me, when I go into a room, I always read the room. I always like to read the room before I go in, so I know which representative do I need to be today. I'm always myself, but I know how I know in certain environments how to be in certain, like I'm always me, but I know how to be me, if that makes sense, in certain environments. Like at work, I'm not going to be how I am talking with y'all and be whoopity whoop whoop at work. Like I'm still my bubbly, fun, laughable self, but I know I'm very corporate in that way. Or when I'm with my family, I'm always me. I'm not as corporate with my family. I'm more relaxed. So it's always being who you are, but knowing how to filter yourself this based on the environment. Right. You are not your thoughts or feelings. Yeah, and that's the thing, we have to recognize we're not our feelings and we're not our thoughts. They are a process that we use to maneuver in life and to understand life and understand the meaning of this experience, or what is this I'm here to remember? What am I here to grow from? That's how I see life. I stepped away from the concept. I used to believe that we come to Earth to learn, like Earth is a school. I don't believe that concept anymore. I believe that Earth is ground zero for memory. And this is where we come as our souls come or carnate to remember um, who we are, that we are the great all, but also to remember the lessons of the experiences that we have experienced and created, because we created our experiences, and to learn more about ourselves and what this concept and idea of life and thought and creation and experience is about. That is my perspective on the meaning of life. It's about creation and experiencing your creations. Um, that's why I feel with women and men, but with women, being responsible and taking accountability of your energy when it comes to your sexual energy is important, because again, it creates realities, and our creations are our experiences. But yes, but okay, guys, anything you guys want to add on to the conversation? I really love these conversations as I unpack myself. I'm pretty sure we do the same thing. You guys are doing the exact same thing. But anybody on the chat and Facebook, I keep saying Facebook, on Instagram and or YouTube, anything you guys want to add to the convo? Oh, hey, D Brazil, I see that you just entered. Hello. All right, guys. Well, I have one more card I want to share with you guys that jumped out with that current card I brought out, and it is faith in the process. And that has been something that has been a learning, remembering process for me, that faith in the process, that we don't have to rush anything. What was that song that was popping earlier the year? The Don't Rush song. Like, really, don't rush. My level is not your level. Your level is not my level. His level, her level, her life, his life, my life. We have to recognize that we are on our path, and our path is for ourselves. What about past life karma? Yeah, past life karma is my perspective on past life karma is the memories that were fragmented, that is coming back. It follows us because our memories follow us, whether it's fragmented or not. And that karma is a memory that we have to clear. You call it clearing. I really call it accepting it and resolving it. That's my perspective when we're talking about clearing it. It's more of accepting it and resolving it. That's how I see the past life karma and clearing karma. I'm a baby stage, still learning. Oh, yo, Joe, we all are in our stages, and that's the thing. No stage is greater or lesser than any stage. Like when I look at the Triple Goddess, and actually that's the cover of this deck, whatever, and it is the Triple Goddess. And what I've come to understand that no stage in life is more important than the other stage, because I know sometimes we get so caught up on the maiden stage or the mother stage, not too much talked about the crone stage, but our current society tosses away the crone stage as if she's not needed, only because we live in a more of a patriarchal society. So older women or wise women or women who have fully come into self are thrown away because they're not easily manipulated by the patriarchal ideals. So that's why they like to manipulate the maiden and the mother stage of experience. But all of us, male or female, go through this type of phase when we are like the childlike self. And then we come to a part of our life when we are creators. And now we're responsible for this creation that we have. And then we come into full maturation by realizing that all of this is me. Life, death, birth, life, and death. And it's a constant cycle of birth, life, and death. So male and female experiences what we'll call a triple goddess experience, right? So faith in the process. You have to crawl before you walk. I have yet to see any baby pop out their mama and just come out walking and talking. There's a process to that. Spirituality is an individual journey, not a race. Be patient with yourself. Yeah, that's exactly. Be patient. And that has been an issue for myself. Patience, because if you guys were on the live last night, I was just saying for me, because I recognize and I know what I am. And being in human form sometimes combats with what I know of myself and what I know I should already be doing. But it's not like I should already be doing. I'm actually right in alignment of what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm rushing. And that's why I say sometimes you don't want to look into the future, guys, and you don't want to rush into knowing everything. Because once you rush and try to know knowledge is really good. Like, knowledge is not bad. But when we try to rush to know all this knowledge, it starts to make us feel like, oh, I should be being greater. I should be doing something at that point in time. I know there's excitement in knowledge and excitement of knowing stuff, but it's not always meant to know things right then and there, right? Like, does a 4-year-old need to know how to drive a car on the freeway? Do they need to know that at 4 years old? No, there's a process to life, and we have to respect our journeys and respect our process. I think I started late. No, Jill, you started right on time. You are so on time. You're so on time. It makes no sense how much time you are on and how much time that you have, because you create your time. But okay, guys. I think I'm gonna talk about time again, because me and time have a really I have a really unique relationship with time. So I think I might talk about that again. But all right, ladies and gents, thank you guys for tuning in and popping in with me today. depending on how I feel, I might do another live tonight. The live I did save, well, Instagram, it got deleted. Instagram kicked me off and didn't allow me to save the live, but it's on YouTube. However, I unlisted it. I unlisted the link. So so those who have the link, you guys can go back into it and you guys can share it. I just didn't make it public because we was going on a lot of stuff, a lot of personal stuff about myself, and I'm like, you know what, the world don't need to know all that. But shout out to those who made it. So I might go live again tonight. I'll make sure I put a post on the gram for you guys too. If I do go live, it'll be on YouTube this time. It's not going to be on Instagram. It will be strictly on my YouTube channel so that you guys can have the link to follow back up on it just in case I do unlist it again. But all right, ladies and gents, thank you guys for tuning in and popping in with me. The power of prayer. We are getting it through. Shout out to all of you on this journey. Shout out to myself. Shout out to the process because we have faith in the process and we have courage to see it through. All right, guys. Bye.